Today, what we're talking about is additional streams of income with a podcast, e-course, book, and public speaking. So we're going to be talking about all sorts of different ways to add income. You are a person that knows things, and there's people out there that they want to know those things. So we're going to talk through that. How do you get the most out of this webinar? Turn your phone off, put it on airplane mode, focus in, take notes, take some action. A little bit about myself, if you don't know who I am or you just registered for this, I'm Joe Sanok, and I had a counseling group practice until 2019 when I left that to do my podcast, my writing, my maybe you might call it thought leadership. Now I consult with people who are starting, growing, and scaling a private practice as well. I'm a speaker with Simon Sinek's team. Simon Sinek wrote Start With Why, has one of the top TED Talks in the world. Recently, I signed a contract with them to be a speaker. And so they then pitch me to different like larger companies like Facebook or Apple to do public speaking more around the 4-day work week and reducing work hours and optimizing time. Also been interviewed by a bunch of different publications, including Forbes, Fast Company. I'm also the author of Thursday is the New Friday, which is all about the 4-day work week and why we should work less. And we need really smart people to have their best brains, and the kind of burnout culture and hustle culture we have right now just isn't going to give us the best brain waves to be able to get things done that actually need to be done in the world. So I also have two kiddos that are 8 and 11. They take up a lot of time. In fact, after this, I had to have my parents help because my elementary kid gets out at the exact same time that I need to be picking up my volleyball middle schooler. So I'm in that busy middle parenting phase. I also like paddleboarding and being in nature a whole lot. So what are we going to be covering today? Have you ever thought I've got these great skills? Maybe you're a therapist or a coach, or you have a podcast that's going well, but only people that I see one-on-one get to hear all these things. The world really needs you. Whether you're amazing at treating trauma or divorce, or you're just a great life coach, you have big ideas that the world needs. And this webinar is all about teaching you just some of the basics of it and then brainstorming together. I want this to be highly functional for you. And so drop questions in, virtually raise your hand. We can talk about how I've done things. I'm super transparent on money and numbers and all of that, and happy to really dig into where you want to dig in. So if you're ready to build an audience, but you're confused maybe as to exactly where to start, would love for you to put yes in the chat. Sometimes it's nice to just see that other people are as confused as we are. I know when I started my podcast, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And, the first 100 episodes for me, it was like, why? This is good content. Why am I not getting traction? And so, yeah, look at all those yeses. Yeah. It's funny. I know a bunch of my audience are therapists. So just starting a counseling practice, it's like we didn't learn that in grad school. And then add on top of that, all these business things that we can do. We have, especially if you're a therapist that wants to follow ethics, which I hope all of you are. It's like, well, wait, can I transcend state lines? When is it coaching? When is it counseling? Like, am I going to get sued? Like, do I need extra insurance for this? Like, there's all these questions that are so far beyond what we ever thought we would even think about in grad school. But I'm going to actually show you some very practical numbers as to what kind of opportunities are out there. There are people that are way less skilled than you that are just killing it. And it's not fair because you went through often master's degrees or credentialing programs or all these different things, and you see these people that are self-proclaimed experts that are just killing it. And so you are very uniquely positioned to rock it out. The podcasting world, the speaking world is looking for niched in people that can really speak to things, especially those that have licenses or credentials or like a lot of experience. So we're going to start with just I want to give some basics because I don't want to assume that you know a lot of these terms, and I'm going to dig into them. So first, kind of the 3 core streams of income that I would say apply to us as thought leaders are affiliate links, products, and sponsorships. And so let's dig into what each of those are. So an affiliate link is where you get paid for promoting someone else's work. So for example, Bluehost. Bluehost is the hosting that for most therapists that, or anyone that just wants to start a website, that I recommend if they're not using something like Brighter Vision or a service. If they're going to build their own website, you have to have a host to have a website. And so if you're following my work and you want to build your own website, you got to have a host. So finding these things that you're going to naturally refer people to and seeing if they have affiliate programs. Bluehost pays me $75 per every referral that I send to them. And so in our automated email sequence for people just starting a practice, we have those affiliate links in there. We disclose that, so it's not tricky. It's not lying. Is some of these are affiliate links, but it's stuff that I personally used. I used Bluehost until I outgrew Bluehost and need a dedicated server for practice of the practice. And so that's an affiliate link. I'm saying, hey, go check out Bluehost, and then you get a referral fee for that, and they can be all over the board. Bluehost only charges like $4 a month, but they know that when someone starts hosting with them, they usually stay for a really long time. So even if they pay out almost 2 years worth of income, they know that people are going to stay longer than 2 years. Other programs that are higher end programs often will pay, say, like 2 months of the income. So say there's a $200 a month program, then they may pay up to say $400 or $500 per referral. If there's e-courses, like maybe you don't want to create e-courses, but you want to refer people to them, what's typical in the industry is a 50% cut, and you're not even making the e-course. So, if someone's selling a $200 e-course, oftentimes you'll get $100 referral fee for every person you send that signs up for that e-course. Also, Amazon has Amazon Associates, where if there's a book. So right now I'm re-listening to The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. It's a book that I love. It just makes my heart feel good. But say I wrote a blog post about that and I referenced that book, I can put a link in that. That's a unique link from Amazon that then I get 3 to 5% of whatever that person buys for the next 24 hours. So for example, I wrote a blog post on Practice the Practice that was all about the refrigerator that I had in my lobby. I liked it because it had a clear front. It didn't look like a dorm fridge, but it was about the same size, but it had this like nice kind of glow to it. It looked really professional. It's where I kept all my drinks. And I think I named it something like you could learn a lot from Starbucks. And so I had Starbucks drinks in there, I had LaCroix in there, coconut water, and I had the link to the exact fridge that I had bought. It was like a $400 mini fridge. And I bet I had 6 or 7 people that bought that. So then I got 3 to 5% of that purchase, plus whatever they bought on Amazon. I got 3 to 5% of that over the next 24 hours. And so doing those types of referrals, that's what affiliate links are. So your own products is usually where you could make the most amount of money. And so mastermind groups, one-on-one courses, I'll go through what each of these mean. So a mastermind group is typically some sort of time-limited group that meets for, say, 6 months. It's usually a smaller group of peers, so 6 to 12 people. This is not a therapy group, but it might be psychoeducational. It might have some elements of hot seats. Kind of a typical model is that you say you have a group of 6 people, and let's just pick a niche that maybe you do in counseling. So maybe it's men in transition after divorce. And so it's men who got divorced. They, their hearts are broken, but they're like ready to like start building themselves back up again. This isn't therapy again. But you're talking about life things. And so you might start with the first 5 or 10 minutes are wins, like what's going on in your life. Then people would bring a hot seat question. So they might just say, all right, group, I want to have, some feedback on this. I'm jumping back in the dating world, and what do you think? And then people are giving, feedback. And then there might be some sort of psychoeducational side to it as well. This can be true in the business world too. So like, we have mastermind groups that meet, Audience Building Academy is a mastermind group that also has an e-course component and a support side to it. One-on-one consulting might be if, say an HR, professional, they want to have some consulting with you on how to handle crisis management, how to change things in their office. The company Real at Work, I just interviewed Angie. She came to Slow Down School. They go in and they do teachings with companies, and then they do individual coaching sessions around how to have difficult conversations at work. And so they charge way more than their counseling fee for this one-on-one or one-to-many model. Next, we have courses. And so a course might be, something that is taking that same example of, men transitioning after divorce. It might be, everything, a man needs to know about dating after divorce. And you may sell it for $97 or $497, like depending on what all is offered in that. And that's on something that might be on Kajabi or Teachable or a platform like that. You also could have downloads. So this could be checklists, this could be ebooks that people can use to enhance what they want to work on. And so you could use something like Gumroad to deliver this. That's what we use to sell our paperwork packet. Every month, our paperwork packet that I think goes for $197, we probably sell 5 or 6 of those that I'm hardly even promoting. I might put it into some of our emails, might be on some of our blog posts about paperwork. But every month we make about $1,000 in pure passive income off of that download for people. Every once in a while, someone's like, "Oh, it wasn't what I expected." We refund them, and it's super easy. Another product is email series. And so this is going to be something like they get a weekly email for a year on a particular topic, that you're moving them from a particular pain into a transformation.